Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is the start of the Siege content. For those that don't know, I started my esports journey with Siege, I guess. And the last time I did Siege on this channel was when in 2021 I did this long stream about why I hated the way that the pro gameplay had gone since the heydays in year 2 season 3 or to year 3 season 3, I guess. And I just hated it. There's still horrific issues, and I will make a video on it at some point. Don't know what, don't know when. Um, Within that will include things like the drone glitch, which makes the game completely debilitating and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, on with predictions. Before next Thursday, there is only one play day in APAC North. And let's just get into this. So Down 1 versus Talon. Two teams that are currently undefeated. Damwon, who have won twice in regulation, and Talon, who have won once in regulation and once in overtime. Damwon have played two Japanese teams and beaten. So for those that don't know, quickly, APAC North has 4 Korean teams and 4 Japanese teams, and it's reasonable to say that the 4 Korean teams tend to be stronger at the moment. Although Spear are bucking that trend, having been quite shit since they got dropped by T1 and picked up by Spear. But that's the general gist of things, is that Korean teams are better. Both teams have played Fav. Damwon slapping Fav and Talon beating them in overtime. I think Damwon should be the favourites. They've got strength across the board of Kat, Sang, Rin, and Woogieman being my 3 favourite players. Yas and Kota do bits, and I'm not going to deny that, but they're not my favourite players. Talon, they've got players like Hedy is a great player. I trust Demich to get them out of the spot. But I think Damwon should win that one fairly comfortably. Then Reject Fav, the two Japanese teams, two of the Japanese teams. Reject have looked fairly decent. Like they've gone from being definitely the worst team to not doing too badly against one of the favorites. Still losing in regulation though. Yeah, regulation, not relegation, regulation. And then beating the worst team in the league quite comfortably. Fav, I mean, they've played 2 very difficult games. Probably should have beaten Talon in my mind. I definitely favour the players of Fav, like Notu, Shin are great. Whereas Reject, it feels like it's a bit of a weird one with Salty and Candy being my preferred players in terms of the way they play. I would predict Fav, but I wouldn't be surprised if Reject came out and won it. But I would say Fav in overtime if I had to give a prediction. Spear Sandbox. I've already shat on Spear without even talking about Spear themselves. They haven't looked coordinated. They've looked really, really poor. Like the only reason they got close against Cyclops is because Cyclops were messing around. Against Talon, they just got slaughtered. I expect them to get slaughtered again. They're playing another one of the favorites to make it to the major in Sandbox. I think Sandbox look quite clean. I think Sandbox are quite lucky to have beaten Cyclops. Because if you look at it, it was basically purely down to the fact that they got defense on Theme Park as their overtime. But otherwise, yeah, I think I think Sandbox will win this comfortably. And I think in similar vein, going on to this last game of APAC North, I think Fnatic are going to be slaughtered because Fnatic are the worst team in this league. At least when you look at Spear, who are bad, you see moments of them being good. You see moments of Crazy Boy popping off. You see moments of Sayora popping off, I11. Mephi and Roy Boy less so, but you see moments of them being good. Fnatic, I've seen Chibisu being good. And I haven't seen anyone else, really. Others have done stuff, but I feel like they've been more of a letdown. Obviously, Mag hasn't played. It'd be great to see Mag play, but that's not going to happen probably this season. Because of COVID. Yeah, I just see Cyclops winning this comfortably. Let's go on to NA. I've done quite a bit of NAS this last couple of weeks. We got 2 play days in NA, which makes NA quite fun, because they play 2 play days a week, unlike APAC North. Um, I have quite a lot of like old season bias with NA. I do in general with Siege, more than I do with other games. Which is why I will predict Beast Coast to beat Parabellum, because I remember Drip, Slash Hug, and Surf being amazing. Although Sweater, oh my god, he single-handedly. What game am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Space Station. He single-handedly beat Space Station, and that is part of the reason why I hate the game, is how he beat Space Station. But yeah, he's amazing. I think they'll beat Parabellum. I have no evidence to back it up because I haven't watched enough of Parabellum, but because they're later in the day in American timetables, like, look at this shit. Starts at 1 in the morning. I had A levels. I wasn't going to watch that. Yeah. So I think Beast Coast win. Except TSM. I think TSM are playing so much better this split than they did in stage 1. I think that Bolo's finally back. I think Geo is playing really well. I think Merc and Achieved and Charla are playing like they used to play. I think TSM are going to win this quite comfortably. I don't think Exet having 3 Brazilians is going to help them this time. Astralis DZ. Oh, this is going to be a fun game. I'm not a big DZ fan. Um, I used to be a big DP Fire and a big Disrupt fan, which like sort of lends me to Astralis as like a bias. But Astralis haven't played that well. DZ have played well. I say played well. DZ have played well, except for half their games. So it depends on what DZ you get. Like DZ against Space Station, like Space Station was sick on border, but DZ were like they were also pretty poor. And then DZ against Sonics, Sonics played pretty decently, but DZ were also shit. Like there's no excuse. And then they played really well against Parabellum. So I think it depends, and as a result, I'm going to predict Astralis to win this game. SSG Sonics. This is another hard one. The reason why I personally find this one to be quite hard is SSG are like really weird in my mind. Like if you get them on the right map, like Border, they'll be amazing. But you put them on the wrong map, or you just don't play in a way that's orderly, and you will slaughter them. Sonics do play a bit more normal than a team like Beast Coast or Astralis, and as a result, I'm going to predict SSG to win. But I don't know. Don't be surprised if I don't know Super pops off and they win or something. Um, but yeah, I have more faith in Skies and the boys. Or Lycan really in the boys. Coach diff. OXG Mirage. If Mirage finally win, I'd be shocked. OXG are playing sick. I'm a big Laxing fanboy. I just think OXG win this. I'm also a big Foxay fanboy. I think OXG win this. SSG Parabellum. Fuck Parabellum. They're just trying to keep everything level. So on the basis that they lose to Beast Coast, I'm going to say they beat SSG to continue that streak. No logic. They're just going to continue that streak. DZ TSM. I think DZ are too hot and cold. Joke intended about Space Station's player. Yeah, it was definitely intended with the delay. You know, you see that comedy genius. Don't leave. I definitely don't lack personality. TSM are probably better right now. I think their team looks way more coordinated. I think they're far more consistent. I guess you do have the issue that like with all of them peaking right now, what happens if one of them stops peaking? Do they start losing? Probably. I don't know if they have like individual carry depth. Like they do, don't get me wrong, they definitely do for winning rounds, but I don't know if they win games off individuals. They definitely don't do what Beast Coast did to SSG, where Sweater single-handedly carried. Please watch that game if you haven't seen it. Xset versus Sonics. I have no faith in that Sonics team. I think it's a bit of a bubble. They beat DZ whilst DZ were playing like shit. They beat they beat Oxygen, which is really weird. I need to rewatch that game. Um, and then they also lost to Tier. I know what they've been playing well. I'm gonna say they beat Xset because Xset are the China of the Chinese football team of Rainbow Six Siege, and they don't deserve to be praised for it, even if I do like Yoga. Uh, Astralis, OXG, fuck. Astralis, because OXG have not been consistent enough at closing out rounds and thus closing out games. Like they've won 2 games in overtime against TSM and PB. TSM, that's fine, that's impressive. PB, it's less impressive. Beast Coast in regulation, but barely, is a bit. And losing to Sonics is just kind of sad, even if Sonics are playing really well right now. Sorry, I've completely forgotten where I was going. So, yeah, so I think Astrada's going to win that one as well. Beast Coast Mirage. Now this one's a bit weird. I don't know why. I have faith that this could be this could be Mirage's first win. I think Marmalie's been playing a bit better than she was. I think Melted's been playing a bit better. Nyx has been playing a bit better. Even Benji's been playing a bit better. Benji Mueller, different from Benji, 2 different players. Um, yeah, I have a bit of faith. I think I'm going to leave the predictions there. I was half thinking about doing Europe, but I haven't watched it as much as I would like to. Um, I'm not doing Brazil because I haven't watched any Brazil yet. And Apex South is literally unpredictable. Like, if I just quickly go to Apex South, um, like you see Gaimin Gladiators win and then lose. Direwolves win and then lose. Wildcard, fair enough, 1-1. Knights win then lose. Chiefs, okay, they playing like shit. Elevate, lose win. Fury, lose win. IG, lose win. Like it's just unpredictable. If I had to give a very brief prediction with no logic behind it, I'd say Wildcards, Direwolves, Gaimin, IG win their games. No logic. Onigiri probably actually just absolutely slaughters IG because I've said they're going to win with DMR on defense. But, just has to be done. I have absolutely no logic to place behind Europe or Brazil. There was some logic behind that, even if I didn't explain it. Mostly, I have faith in some of the teams that I listed. I don't have faith in the teams that I said they would lose. Um, quick point, actually. This is another tangent. Quick point. Luna Metal as a coach is something I freaking love. This guy was such a legend on Aerowolf and Giants. Oh, I love this guy. I actually freaking love this guy. I really hope Knights do well, and I will be trying to do some. I will try and do some predictions, like seriously for Apex Elf. Probably later in the season. Because it gets a bit more predictable around Playday 6 and 7. And we can talk about ramifications of games. Whereas right now I'm just sort of throwing shit out. And I will try and split them by regions on other Thursdays. I just did it as like a whole thing as like an introduction to Siege on my channel. Um, yeah, that's it. I haven't got an intro still. Uh, comment if you think you have an idea for one. Um, this is just a hobby. See you in the next video. Actually, one thing before I go, I did remember this time. Um, there is a quick stream that's going to happen. Um, Probably on Twitch rather than YouTube because YouTube streaming slightly bugged on my Elgato. And that will be in relation to the LCK games that are coming up. I'm just going to quickly give the exact games. It's not going to be live during the games. I don't have the right to do that unless I do a live view, which makes it really boring because I can't point it out as easily. That's going to be the Nongshim Hanwha live game and the DRX Kongdu game on the 26th. Keep your eyes out for that.